Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're doing something pretty immediate. We're diving straight into a real-time snapshot of the Delhi National Capital Region. We're pulling together two key bits of data right now, the very latest weather nowcast from the India Meteorological Department, the IMD, and the current air quality picture from the Central Pollution Control Board, or CPCB.
Yeah, and when we say immediate, we really mean it. We're focused on the next, 2 to 3 hours?
Exactly. Not next week, not even tomorrow, the next few hours. And why the urgency? Well, these sudden weather shifts are happening smack bang in the middle of huge religious celebrations. Dussehra, Durga Puja, they're happening right now across the region.
Right. So the real tension here isn't just, is it going to rain? It's more complex.
It's about whether that rain might, say, help the air quality, which is always a concern in Delhi, or if things like lightning might actually force the festivities to shut down.
That's the core issue we want to clarify for you today. We're using a proper nowcast information that's useful, well, now. It gives you a clear idea of the weather threat, and, really importantly, it sets the baseline for air quality before things potentially get worse with festival pollution.
Sort of like merging what's happening up in the sky with what's going on down on the ground, environmentally speaking.
Precise.
Okay, so let's unpack this immediate alert from the IMD. They've been quite specific on their X handle, saying rain and thunderstorms are likely in the next 2 to 3 hours. That's a very tight window.
It really is. And it means people need to be cautious right away because they've issued a specific yellow alert. That's for Delhi and Noida.
A yellow alert. So what does that practically mean?
It means be aware. The prediction is for light rain and thunderstorms, possibly with lightning. A yellow alert signals that conditions aren't severe yet, but they definitely need watching, especially given how many people are out and about. And also, considering the sheer size of the area affected.
Right. This isn't just one small part of the city, is it? The nowcast mentions, Southeast Delhi, East Delhi, Shahdara, Central.
Yeah, Northeast, South Delhi, New Delhi, Southwest, West, Northwest, North Delhi. I mean, it's pretty much the entire NCR.
So basically, if you're anywhere in the Delhi-NCR region right now, you probably need to factor this weather into your plans for the next couple of hours.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that brings us to the direct impact, the logistical consequence. This rain coming in, especially if there's lightning involved.
Yeah.
Well, it's highly likely to disrupt, maybe even shut down, some of the outdoor Durga Puja and Dussehra celebrations happening all over. Think about it, large crowds, maybe temporary structures.
Yeah.
A sudden thunderstorm is the last thing organizers want.
That's a really good point, a huge potential disruption. But maybe there's a silver lining here. You mentioned the environmental baseline. The sources do note that it has been raining already over the last couple of days.
That's true. And people in Delhi have apparently felt some relief because of it. It's been quite humid, oppressively so. And this recent rain has reportedly helped cut through that sticky feeling.
Okay, so that earlier rain might have already provided some benefits. Do we have any specific numbers on those recent conditions?
We do. Looking back just before this immediate alert, the maximum humidity recorded, I think it was Thursday, stood at 85%. That's quite high.
85% humidity. Yeah, that sounds sticky.
It is, and that's why the rain provided relief. The temperatures reflect this a bit too. The minimum temperature was expected to settle around 26 degrees Celsius, which is relatively comfortable for Delhi.
Okay, and the maximum?
Expected around 33 degrees Celsius. Still warm, obviously, but perhaps not as intense as it could be without that recent cooling rain.
So wait, let me just clarify. You said 85% max humidity recently, but also that there's been significant rain. I mean, the primary weather station, Safdarjung, recorded 37.8 millimeters of rain in the 24 hours leading up to Wednesday morning. That's quite a lot of rain, isn't it?
It is, yeah. 37.8 millimeters is substantial. It's not just a quick shower.
So why would the humidity still be peaking so high at 85% if there was that much rain? Is the relief just super temporary, or is something else going on?
That's a really sharp question. The cooling effect from rain, especially the drop in felt temperature due to lower sensible heat, can be quite immediate. But the actual humidity reading, the amount of moisture in the air, can spike right after rain, especially if the sun comes out or temperatures remain warm, leading to evaporation. So you might feel cooler temporarily, but the air itself is still holding a lot of moisture. The 85% likely reflects that lingering moisture.
Ah, okay. So the feeling of relief might be more noticeable than the raw humidity number suggests sometimes. But that 37.8 millimeter figure is important. That volume of water does more than just cool things down, right?
Absolutely. It acts like a natural air freshener.
Yeah.
Or maybe more like an air scrubber.
Yeah.
There's a process called wet deposition, basically.
Yeah.
Rain washes pollutants out of the atmosphere.
Right. Which leads us perfectly to the other critical piece of data, the air quality. So, after all that rain, what are we actually breathing right now? The report says the air quality index, the AQI, on Thursday morning was 114.
114, okay. So that number 114 immediately tells us where we stand. According to the CPCB scale, that falls squarely into the moderate category.
Moderate. What does that mean for, the average person?
Moderate means the air quality is generally acceptable. For most people, it probably won't cause issues. However, people who are unusually sensitive to air pollution, maybe those with asthma or other respiratory conditions, might experience some minor effects.
Okay, and just to give everyone the context for that number, the CPCB scale is quite specific. Moderate is defined as an AQI between 101 and 200.
That's right. And it's useful to see the whole scale to understand where 114 fits. Below 101, you've got satisfactory, 51-100, and good, 0-50.
Which is where you ideally want to be.
Exactly. Then above moderate, it gets progressively worse. 201 to 300 is poor.
301 to 400 is very poor.
And then anything above 401 up to 500 is classified as severe. That's when you see health warnings for everyone.
So sitting at 114, while not good, is definitely much, much better than the poor or very poor levels that Delhi unfortunately sees quite often, especially at other times of the year or during pollution episodes.
Precisely. And the fact that we're at the lower end of moderate right now, this 114 reading, is very likely a direct consequence of that recent heavy rainfall we talked about, that 37.8 millimeters. It's literally washed some of the pollutants away, keeping the city out of those higher, more dangerous AQI ranges for the moment.
So let's pull this all together for you. What are the key takeaways from this rapid data dive? First, there's that immediate yellow alert. Watch out for light rain and thunderstorms potentially disrupting things, especially the ongoing festivals, within the next 2 to 3 hours across pretty much all of Delhi-NCR.
Right. And second, the current environmental situation is relatively stable, at least for now. We've got that moderate AQI of 114, likely thanks to the recent significant rainfall, which also brought some welcome, if perhaps temporary, relief from the heat and humidity.
Okay, so that's the snapshot right now.
But it does leave us with a really interesting question to ponder, looking just a little bit ahead. We know the atmosphere got a good cleaning from nearly 38 millimeters of rain. That's a fact. But we also know that the peak of festival season, especially with Dussehra involving things like effigy burning, tends to create a huge amount of local pollution pressure.
Right. A potential spike in emissions is almost guaranteed.
Exactly. So the provocative thought for you to keep an eye on is this. Was that 37.8 millimeters of rain enough scrubbing power to counteract the pollution surge that's likely coming from the festivities? Or is this moderate 114 AQI reading just a fleeting moment, a kind of temporary illusion washed clean before the air quality inevitably deteriorates again?
That balance, the cleaning power of the rain versus the polluting power of the celebrations, that's really the critical thing to watch in the next day or two, isn't it?
That's absolutely the tension that will likely define Delhi's air quality trajectory moving forward from this point. Something to definitely keep track of.